You're good.
And so let's see, we know JO 1063 are
I think it might be,
the first ones.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
which I mean, we don't really even need him, but just in case.
So would be Fran, CDO fund or?
No,
all
it would be
McDermott?
all McDermott.
Okay. And we know anything that's. Steve sends you a text.
Oh, yeah, he called me like on my way in. He's not gonna be able to make it.
Okay.
He's at work today.
Oh, fortunately, you do need to remind him about the read the minutes
Yes.
and watch the meeting.
Yep.
Because
I actually got the sheet in here.
You got it. That's what funny.
Yeah,
I don't have a sheet and I was like, I hope Hannah brings it or we talked about it if Steve was here tonight.
Yes.
But yeah, just a reminder that with the ongoing. Nicole, you know this and you know this too, I believe. We have the Mullen rule. So in this case, like Steve missed last meeting, he's gonna have to read up on what happened at the meeting, sign off on a form, and you can only do that one time. But after that,
For hearing.
Yeah, for a hearing, right, on a
well,
topic,
not for a hearing, for a, oh, wait, sorry.
For a,
Yes,
you
for a
can't
hearing,
vote on the,
right,
not per meeting, but
Right,
for a hearing,
right.
so you can't keep doing the Mullen rule throughout a really long, and some of these, obviously, this one's been going on for
yeah.
quite a while. It is, what's that?
You just can't vote on it, right, if you miss any more than that?
That's not.
You can participate in the discussion, but yes, you can't vote on it.
yeah, do how long.
Just like if you're at a butter, not a butter, an interested party, you can, you should be recusing yourself from something if you have conflicts of interest. Ariane's done that a number of times, recusing herself for, but that's different. She can still participate. She doesn't have to leave the room.
Yeah.
No, just.
Yeah, no.
That's like
yeah.
if you- would that be like if you were in a butter or something to a property?
Yeah.
A buttership property, or you work for a company like Ariana sometimes who's got an interest in one of the hearings, you can recuse yourself, make a statement for that for the record, but sit there and participate in the discussion. I was told you could, but you couldn't.
They're wrong.
I thought you
Cannot participate in the discussion.
Oh, we'll have to double check that with
I'm-
town council, because
I'm
I,
100% sure.
okay, well, I remember asking this a couple years ago.
Well, they were wrong.
All right, well, it's town council, so we'll have to see if they.
Cannot participate.
Anyway, you don't have to leave the room is what I was saying. You don't have,
Good, leave the room.
all right, well, I'm not gonna talk about anymore.
That's what
Because
you
Ariane's
said. It was
doing
like,
this room.
Whenever you say that,
Anyway, we'll get it clarified, but
you cannot.
short answer is, short thing is right now, we don't have to worry about it because Steve's not there right now, but neither.
Cannot.
All right, so we'll open,
Stop you. Cannot.
we'll open the meeting for March 25th, the Conservation Commission at the Bellingham Municipal Center. Welcome to you in the room and those online. We will jump right in with the first item on the agenda, which is an extension request for a permanent extension request rather for 3 Duhamel Way. Construction of a single family home within buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant's original permit holder was Fran's CBO Plum 3 Custom Homes, but the extension request is being made by Paul McDermott from 3 Duhamel Way. I believe, Paul, are you online? Can you hear us?
Yes, can you
Okay,
hear me?
great, thank you. Good, I see a number.
Apologize,
a letter.
apologize for the number.
That's okay, that's great.
But I told him he didn't really have to talk because we kind of went over it the last time, but
Right.
this is just.
Just wanted to make sure you could hear the proceedings as.
No,
after
I can
letting
hear.
you- What's that? Yeah, I just said, welcome everybody. You can hear me. Oh, I did a nice welcome and everything to the on site and everything went up with the people online. Yes, it's good to be heard. All right, so, Hannah, I'll defer to you at this point. to see
Yeah.
whether-
So this was the permit extension request that we had talked about a couple hearings ago. But he'd come in person to come chat about it. And he's just requesting a year-long extension so we can kind of get it figured out and get it into compliance.
To
with
meet the orders of conditions that have been set for the.
Yes.
And required warmer weather and no snow on the ground, things like that, to get things lined up for eventually meeting those, requirements that we have put in place. Does anybody have any questions about that? It was brought up, a couple meetings ago, I don't remember exactly which meeting, but. All right, well, if no one has any questions, no one's online today from the commission, so we can just do this by voice vote. I'll accept a motion from someone to issue an extension.
1
So
year
moved.
extension,
Move 1 year,
a 1 year extension.
give a 1 year extension.
All right.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay. All right, Don, thank you. And any other discussion, questions? Okay, then saying none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous vote. All right, so we have a 1 year extension there, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, next item on the agenda is a notice of intent for Blackstone Street, alteration of bordering vegetated wetland BDW and its associated 100-foot buffer zone for improvements to the undeveloped section of Blackstone Street, including infrastructure, utilities, and site grading. Louis Petrosi Wall Street Development Corporation is the applicant, and the applicant has requested a continuation to April 8th. Which gives us more time to review some information that was just recently put into board. He said
He
Monday.
provided a little bit, but we were still waiting.
We're
for
still waiting for some stuff.
The most of the majority of the response to the stuff we
To the
had.
memos and stuff, yes, I saw that. I didn't see that responses yet, so I'm like, okay. All right, so we have a request from the applicant to continue to the evening of April 8th, which is the next meeting. Anybody want to make that motion? And we have a motion from Pam.
Seconded.
Don, jumping right on there. Okay, motion second, any other discussion? No? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, unanimous vote. And now we move right on to Lakeview Avenue, map 65 lot 17. This is a notice of intent, continued hearing for the construction of a single-family home within the buffer zone to BVW. Quarry Development of Blackstone is the applicant, and Seth LaJoy Associates is the representative, and they have also asked for continuation request. Do we have a
To the
to the 8th? Okay, thank you.
was unspecified, so.
All right, so we'll say to the 8th and see what happens between now and then. Anybody want to make that motion
I'll make a motion to move the meeting to the 8th,
for the hearing?
the hearing.
Meeting's already gonna be on the 8th, whether you want to move it or not. Okay, any other, anybody want to second it?
I'll second.
James, thank you. All right, anybody discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Signing your supplements. Do two things at once. All right, so, next item on the agenda is the continued hearing for a notice of intent for 41 Mansion Street and Harpin Street, map 86, lot 42. This is a continued hearing for the replacement of a residential septic system and backfilling of pool on town property. Cyclops Realty is the applicant, and Seth LaJoy and Associates is the representative. They have also asked for continuation.
Till when?
To the 8th.
The 8th.
To the 8th, yeah.
8th is gonna be busy.
It was the first, I'd say no fool, but I can't do that because it's the 8th, it's a week later. Okay, so we have somebody that hasn't yet wanted and wants to make a motion to continue this. So we wonderful. Oh, thank you.
Second.
I did all the work on that one. Thank you. And we have a motion by James, second by Ariane. Any other discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right.
Nice, so does that mean you're not discussing that at all tonight?
Yes, we can't discuss legally if the applicant has requested continuation and we agree to it, especially if the applicant is not present.
No problem,
So-
that's the only reason I came tonight.
Just Kim,
so.
thank you for
Thank
coming, and I'm glad we got it out of your way, so you didn't have to sit here for a long period of time.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Have a nice night. Okay, continued hearing for a notice of intent for 455 Hartford Avenue, map 4, lot 72. This is the alteration of a 100-foot buffer zone to BVW for the construction of a commercial building, including infrastructure, stormwater management features, and site grading. The applicant is Moshe Atias, I'm guessing, as correct pronunciation, and from Darn Properties. Good name. And Doug Dillon is Goddard Consulting as representative. The applicant has also requested a continuation to April 8th because everybody else is. So they're following suit, I guess. Anyway. They all did this without knowing that everybody else was doing it, I guess. I wanted to free up some time now we have a lengthy agenda. All right, so I will accept the motion from
Did they give a
someone.
reason why?
That one was for.
They had to reflag and stuff. because
It was just a
Yeah, there
flagging
was
issue?
some fault.
Okay, I was looking to see if anything else came.
And I know Nicole wants to make this motion, but she hasn't yet had the opportunity to make a motion.
I did the first.
We did,
motion.
yeah, first one,
Yeah.
but it's so long ago, we have that so many times. Okay, so someone.
I'll make a motion to the,
All right, so the motion, the second, anybody?
Oh, second.
Thank you, Hannah. Stop here.
yeah.
All right, and so any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, it's almost unanimous, brief, this departure from James, just for the record, and we'll be continuing on, but that's it. Unanimous without hands. Also, just for the record, Steve, his caller is not here this evening, so he is not gonna be present for any of those votes. Okay, it wasn't. We have continued hearing for notice of intent for 77 Bruce Road, upgrade of a septic system. And after the fact, removal of trees and yard expansion within the riverfront area and buffer zone. George Perkins at 77 Bruce Road is the applicant, and the representative is George Collins, Collins Engineering Group.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, sure.
How we doing? My name is
Hey.
Peter Lyons. I'm an engineer and soil evaluator with Collins Civil Engineering Group. Here tonight, representing the homeowner, as mentioned, a notice of intent for a failed residential septic system, and after the fact, notice of some tree removal within the 50-foot BVW limits and riverfront areas. I did present this at the previous meeting to the commission, so I'll kind of just start with a recap and then we can jump into the changes made. Just let me, I'm gonna try to share the plan if someone can allow that.
Second, will you be able to?
Looks like
Okay.
confirm we're looking at it.
Yeah.
So just to recap what's going on here, this is a failed residential 3-bedroom septic system. The existing system is in the back of the property, between the pool and the existing tree line. Our proposal for the septic here is to replace the existing components with a new 1,500-gallon tank to a 14 by 40 pipe and stone leaching field. No grade changes associated with this project. No tree removal associated with the septic portion of the project. None of that stuff has really changed since then. It has been brought to the attention of the commission that some historic disturbance or clearing within the riverfront area has occurred. Primarily this area right here. I think can you guys see me moving around the mouse and
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, so basically, in 2018, the new owners did do some tree removal. Some of it being for aesthetics, some of it be to safety reasons, proximity to the house. Basically, they've admitted to this. They were not aware of the wetland regulations at the time. We know that's not an excuse. However, this work has already been done. So we're kind of looking for an after the fact allowance of some of this tree removal. As part of this project, I did meet Hannah out on site last week just to confirm the wetland lines. The last revision of this, we had GPS or GIS located wetlands. Since then, I have personally done the wetland delineations for an isolated vegetated wetland, potential vernal pool flagged as the flags 1 through 7. And then we have a BVW to the east, flags 1 through 8, which tie into the perennial stream up to the north. Because of the clearing and the work within the 50-foot buffer zone. Our original proposal with this that we're basically coming up with now is to restore the existing lawn area in the back here. Basically, our proposal is to provide a mix of some oak trees, some blueberry bushes, and some upland seed mix to basically revegetate this area in the back of the yard. Um, Additionally to that, we've proposed conservation posts, basically indicating a permanent boundary or do not enter, do not disturb zone associated with these buffers. Those posts fall along the 50-foot buffer line and then right along the property line, pretty much all the way to the front, where we are within the riverfront areas. Um, so this is our proposal. Just a little history of the project. This was all developed prior to the Wetland Protection Act. It was subdivided. So basically what that means is the existing house and pool areas were grandfathered in. This is really the area of concern that was not. This was again cleared post 2018. So yeah, all of it is in the outer riparian zone to the riverfront area. The 100-foot falls off the property. That's my recap. And then if Hannah wants to chime in,
Pause for a sec. Peter, a couple quick questions for you. The area that they're talking about for the replanting, the sort of oval shaped area,
Yes.
there, how many square feet approximately is that?
Ooh, it should be listed, but it's not. Let me hop to my other screen and I can get you an area. It is approximately 1,000 square feet between the existing tree line and the 50-foot buffer to the isolated wetland. So approximately 1,000 square feet. Again, our proposed mitigation consists of 3 juvenile oak trees, 12 high bush blueberries in clusters of 3, and then the whole area, as recommended by Hanno, would be overseeded with an upland seed mix, like a wildflower mix, and kind of allowed to revegetate. So basically, that's existing lawn. We're trying to kind of give that back to the woods.
You call one of those trees white open.
White oak is fine. I mean, that's a native.
High bush blueberry and clumps of 3.
Yeah, everybody's obsessed with the high bush blueberry. I mean, if it's like, I mean, is it mostly shady? Because blueberry does not like the shade.
I mean, they get sun. It's the tree line is on the southern end of the property, so they kind of get the afternoon sun.
Yeah, because I mean, the low bush blueberry, that does a little better in the shade, but the high bush prefers more sun than not. But other than that, I mean, they're natives and they like the acidic soil and everything, so.
Before we get a little too far into it, I did just want to know, I did put in a marked up plan that I sent to the applicant and to you all.
Yep.
Just my interpretation was that seeing as they were already over the 5,000 square feet of riverfront alteration, it didn't seem like it would be allowable to, after the fact, allow the expansion of lawn that far. But that was my interpretation, so.
So that was my question actually, was gonna be how much was actually originally disturbed since 2018? And how much is being, I heard 1,000 square feet is being,
So that thick line
right,
is
but,
2018 tree line.
yeah,
So everything to the right of that line.
so it's about, it looks like under 20%.
Yeah, you have about 2,000 square feet within this chunk right here, within the riverfront area. And then this area, everything outside of that was existing, basically done with the initial house development. So it's a recent 2,000 square feet
What
approximately.
about the area below that rectangle you just highlighted?
That's the 200-foot line, so this is
Right.
outside of the riverfront jurisdiction and outside of the 50-foot buffers to the BBW.
But that was 2018 or later, correct? If the lawn area above that was, which is closer to the house, was done in 2018 or later, I doubt that they had jumped over that, left that area undisturbed in 2012, for example, and then cleared that lawn. It was marked as lawn down there below. So I assume that was all done around 2018.
Yeah, around 2018, the lawn basically looked like that. And then there was this southern portion, which is entirely out of the 100 and the riverfront. And then there's this chunk here, which is only within the 100 to the BVW. And then really, this is the chunk, 2,000 square feet we're looking at within the riverfront area.
Okay. The footprint of the existing leach field and the new one, are they the same? I know you talked about replacing one type of septic tank with another one, so forth in the same location. But is the leach field expanding, staying the same, moving over slightly?
Yeah, the leaching field is expanding to meet the current Title V regulations required for a 3-bedroom home. We did find favorable sandy conditions out here. So this is, well, sorry to jump around on you. So this is being built in sand, but just with the current regulations, it's a little bigger.
Did you need to do anything to meet groundwater clearance?
Nope, plenty of groundwater separation. We have about 9 feet to groundwater out here. So these wetlands are actually down a lot lower than it looks. There's an approximately 10-foot, embankment right off the property line that slopes down to those wetlands.
Okay. So Hannah, in the markup, because I was trying to read the notes that you had made.
Yeah.
But more to the point, you seem to be offering option A or B, but it was in the. I didn't see it in the summary, which I printed out from you of your points for the different hearings. I thought it needed, was it on the actual plan?
It would be going with the original restoration that they offered here of the 50-foot, or requiring restoration of the
Additional 2,000.
additional 2,000 square feet, yes. But with the project, I mean, because they do need the 10 feet of clearance
From the septic.
from the septic, I would say, like, if they need to, keep some of that clear, they could just plant a couple more square feet above, like a 1-for-1 essentially,
Mhm.
was my thought process there.
So that would give us close to 3,000 square feet of restored out of the total disturbed, cleared area.
Yeah, I guess.
2,000 for the area
Yeah.
that has not yet been talked about, and then
Yeah.
the sliver, the oval shaped one, which has a planting plan already in place.
Yep.
What's the commission's views on that? Commissioners, speak up. What do you think?
The main high water line, do we know?
The bank is the TB2, TB3, TB4.
Down here, yeah.
That's the top of bank.
And I
It's
just
quite
like,
far, and there is quite a drop off to all those.
yeah, I just like to point out the elevations too. It's about 38 down at the stream, and then we're up at 55. So we're 15 feet above. So there's plenty of, groundwater separation. And again, just to reiterate, we're fixing the failed septic. So anytime there's a failed septic system within the buffer zones, replacing it with something modern and up to par is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
we are in consistent consensus with that. It's just more the level of restoration that the commission feels is desirable, warranted.
Yep.
And we have that isolated vegetated wetland, that's a potential
Correct.
vernal pool. That looks, just by scale, it looks like,
It's within almost 50 feet of
Yeah,
where
it's
they want to restore.
right,
So Pam, James, Moran, Nicole, what do you think? Do you want to expand and have them do more in the lawn, the 2018 lawn area to the east of west, I guess it is, of the area that they're proposing? And if so, about how much?
I mean, I kind of think we have to, um, require that it meets the riverfront standards at a bare minimum.
Yeah, it just seems like there's so very little vegetation for how much like.
Areas.
Yeah.
Hannah, what would the front requirements be again? You, I think noted on the plan.
Yeah, so it's typically up to 5,000 square feet. When you have a property that's, a lot older and they've maintained clearing there prior, that's kind of, essentially grandfathered in, but going over what's currently there.
So up to 5,000?
Or 10% of the,
Or 10%, but yeah, on a lot this small. The 5,000 is
Yeah.
definitely greater. But yeah, so they already have about, I just measured it out like on the PDF, but it looks like they already have like 9,800 square foot of clearing in the riverfront that's essentially grandfathered. So it seems like going over that would, be significantly over the.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
so how much,
Unfortunately.
how much of an expansion of what they have proposed would we need to get to?
For
where
restoration.
you're thinking?
Well, I would just recommend that like 2,000 square foot chunk that they. To add that to the area that they're already proposing to restore in 50 foot.
With the exception of what buffer is needed
For
for
the.
the septic.
Yeah. That's
Oh, clearance.
Yeah, the clearance.
Yep,
What is that number? How much clearance does the leach field need?
10 feet.
10 feet from the edge, right?
Is it from the leach field and any septic tanks, et cetera? Peter, or is it just leach field?
So it's kind of more a practical recommendation. Obviously, over time, roots grow, specifically with the big trees. We don't want roots infiltrating the field. So typically, we really like to do anything within tens of minimum, 15 feet. Basically, what I guess I'd like to propose at this point is if the commission's on board with requiring more advanced mitigation, we have prepared a plan showing such. If I can pull that one up, I think it's basically going to contain everything you're requesting.
Okay.
So if I zoom in here, this plan is obviously same concept, but we have expanded the mitigation. So quick numbers down the bottom. We're basically showing let's call it 2018 and later disturbance of 2,400 square feet. We've proposed a total of 2,800. So we do meet more than that 1-to-1 criteria. And then regarding this offsets to the septic system, what I've proposed with this, it's actually, so the dash liner on the septic is the removal associated with the leaching field. So that's kind of the edge of the septic area. So we've proposed 10 feet beyond that, which equates to 15 feet from the actual stone of the leaching itself. That's a little safer of a long-term setup from an engineering standpoint. And then the other things we've done is these are conservation posts. So we keep them out of the 50, and then there's conservation posts essentially along the riverfront, and then the proposed, basically bringing it right back up to the historic tree line. So we're revegetating right up to the 2018 condition here.
Putting in like 7, it looks like about 7 posts instead of the original 5, which is fine because it's a larger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's actually 8 on here.
Yeah, okay. 8's great.
Can I make some recommendations for planting?
Yeah, we have someone on the commission, Peter, who is an expert on trees, an arborist, and would like to make some recommendations for trees.
Sure.
You already have them in here or not, I can't tell, but we'll hear. Go ahead.
So I'm also a landscape designer as well. So I just think like putting the white oaks like that close to the leaching field and also the house, I feel like you should keep the trees like a little further down, and put more shrub layer like closer to the leaching field in the house. So that way it won't, those white oaks, they want to spread like 50, 60 feet. Like eventually they would get towards the house. and white oak roots are super invasive. So you might want to keep those ones a little farther back and just put like the shrub layer closer to the front. And I would kind of like in an area that's, when you had that smaller area, like the blueberry and the oak is great. But I think in area, since you expanded the area a little bit, like maybe mixing up some diversity, like clethra, summer sweet clethra is a really good recommendation. It likes mostly shade. Yeah, it's a native shrub, sweet pepper bush.
To get a lot of it, I mean, does it grow abundantly?
Yeah, it colonizes, so it'll secure like that area. It colonizes, and like that, I know the high bush blueberry, like they're they're kind of hard to establish in the woods. Like you could probably get a couple of them to grow, but they, like in my experience, they don't have like a high success rate.
You specify low, you mentioned low bush as being.
Yeah, but they like really rocky soils.
Okay.
And like, yeah, if it was like a super slope, I would recommend that. Yes, the clethra, what else? I think sweet pepper bush,
Sweet
yeah.
pepper bush, yeah.
And then there's Itea virginica, which is the sweet spire, I think it's called. I forget the common names. That's another good one for like retention and understory. Just I don't know, maybe just looking into a couple of more, like just like diversify it a little bit. The blueberries, I'm not feeling super confident about that many blueberries.
How are you feeling about the number of oaks, which are the red circles, I believe, proposed, the white oaks rather?
Yeah.
Is that quantity?
I think
Now that
the
you're
quantities,
pushing them back
yeah.
closer to potentially each other, would there be an issue about take one or two of those out and do more shrubs and just have how X many?
Yeah, I mean, I think the number's fine because in the woods, trees grow
Yeah.
to what they grow next to each other and they compete interspecifically, but I don't see like that being like a crazy number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would there be another tree species you would suggest to replace in a plan like that size, or? You think it would, okay.
I was gonna think black tupelo, but I don't think it's
think-
close enough to the water.
That's also something that if you guys want to issue an
Yeah.
order tonight for the work, we can also just, as a condition, request that they come back with a updated plan.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I just
This
want to
way
give
it
him some
gives us a
ideas, so
chance.
he's not like,
Yeah.
oh, what the heck, where do I go from now? You know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of white oaks, but diversifying. it a little
Yeah,
bit.
definitely diversifying, maybe the tree species as well. Red oaks, you can throw some red oaks or black oaks in there too. Those are more prevalent than white oaks. I mean, I do like to see white oaks because there aren't too many of those there.
Yep.
So you'd like them to branch out into a little diversity.
Yeah,
Yep. All right.
yeah, I think
That
would
makes
be a good
sense,
start.
Peter?
Yeah, no, I understand everything the commission and members are concerned with. Uh, yeah, we're fine with making those changes. I guess my last comment with this would be if there's any way to issue a conditional approval somehow, because this is a failed septic, time's of the essence. We've already continued once. And, the homeowner is basically minimizing their water flow before they have backups into the house. So we definitely want to get this moving as soon as possible. We have no issues, working in cooperation with the commission to get it done as you guys see fit.
I think you're done with it.
Oh, now, I
No.
mean, this is a great time, yeah, it's defrosted, so. It's defrosted out.
For now. Okay. In this, good,
And with this plan, would your recommendation still be the order of conditions and then the separate enforcement order?
I mean, that's what I always recommend, but if you guys want to put them together, we can.
I mean, the enforcement order to cover the restoration.
Yeah, so just issue the order for essentially allowing the clearing up to those buffer markers that are on there, and then issuing an enforcement order for the restoration, just so they're not tied together, and then they can do all the work they want on that, and if you wanna, see a little bit more for the restoration plan.
that would be part of the enforcement.
And like
order,
for
right?
time wise, instead of tying it for to the order where they have the 3 years, we can say, okay, by next spring, like have stuff in and just be able to monitor it a little bit easier. That's just what DEP recommends, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should definitely get them some approval to get the septic done.
Yeah,
That would stress
yes.
me out.
So,
If I was a homeowner.
if we are following, a suggestion there, of doing order of conditions first and then enforcement order second. And if that's the feeling of the commission and someone wants to make a motion to issue an order of conditions.
So moved. I'll make-
Phrasing, it well, let's make sure we phrase it properly so
Right,
that
right, I was waiting. for you.
Anna is, on board with how we're phrasing it because she's the one making the notes about it. Be as explicit as you care, Mr. Motion Maker, and watch Hannah's reaction, see if she's not following you. Want to make sure the order of conditions statement that he's making motion is clear enough for.
I mean, I think if you guys want to just talk about the general conditions and then make a motion after that, that might be easier. So I assume just allowing for, the order would essentially allow for clearing, the after the fact clearing up to the limit of the buffer markers that are shown. Correct, and then,
Those buffer markers also need to be a condition of the order of conditions, but those need to be
yep,
left in there, not just part of the enforcement order.
And the usual, given this top of the slope is about the top of the property line and going down into the wetlands area that. And it's a fairly steep drop off that we make sure that any necessary, erosion controls and so forth measures are put in place and inspected by the administrator as.
Yep.
Part of the start of the project, so that we don't have any runoff if they get a big spring rain or something, especially since they want to jump right into this. So anything else for conditions?
Anyone?
what was that?
Oh, I see it. I was wondering where the erosion control limit was.
Is it around the top of the slope?
We got it. Okay.
And did they specify what they're using?
Let's see what detail- oh,
Yeah, we're proposing an 8-inch straw wattle staked in. This is a relatively flat backyard before
Right.
it slopes down, so we think the 8-inch should be sufficient.
Right. Okay.
It's sandy soil, so not a lot of runoff, especially now that everything's defrosted.
And the conservation posts, comfortable with the 8 as part of the condition?
Okay. We don't usually specify wood, metal.
Yeah, it's usually
No,
just
no,
4
yeah.
4 feet high with the
With the
conservation placards that they can get.
4x4, ET or whatever they want to use, okay. We have signs in the office here for free. Okay, any other conditions the commission members want to make for the order of conditions discussion prior to making a motion for the order of conditions? Just to clear, no more clearings actually happening, it's already been done, so we're approving something that's already been done.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no other added items, I'll accept somebody to make a motion.
They already made the motion.
But yeah, but then we went to have discussions and we never got a second, I don't think.
Right, so I'll second.
Okay, thank you. It's a motion to question order of conditions and for the already cleared area and Sham second. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's a unanimous vote for the order of conditions. And now if someone wants to make a motion for an enforcement order. Hmm? Oh, come on, we can do a little bit of that. Don't make me-
I'll make a motion to issue an enforcement order for the disturbance of the front area in excess of 5,000 feet so that we can have it restored.
Okay, so we have a motion for discussion and other points about the enforcement order. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, thank you. All right, discussion points, any discussion items that you'd like to state the
No.
time period that you want it done by, or as.
I mean, I can draft something, just that, because it's also the 50-foot buffer zone to the isolated wetland. And I
And
can
that-
draft something that contains,
The essentials?
Yeah.
Okay, so timetable. The nature of the restoration, we do want to refer to and with a successful, or not successful, with, yeah, I guess it'd be successful.
monitoring for the 3
No,
years
no,
with
the
75%.
planting plan.
Yeah.
Come back to us with an
Oh.
acceptable planting plan, because
Yeah,
that was gonna be part of the enforcement order that, you know, so we would review number of trees and so forth, so something about that has to be done as part of the enforcement order prior to being released. Which would happen then, and the monitoring is all that follow after that. Okay, is anybody else in the commission have anything they feel that Hannah might not already telepathically know from you and want to add verbally? Okay. All right, so we have enough information for her to draft something up, but we still need to vote or.
Yeah, we had a motion.
I know, in a second, yeah, I'm just going to make sure nobody else wants to discuss points. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay, so we have a issued or not issued, but we are signing off an enforcement order, which Hannah will provide
Yeah, I'll do it electronically.
electronically.
So we can just get that out.
Not dot loop, what's it called now?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever,
remember.
the new and fancy electronic signature thing that we use. Everybody's been able to do that okay online, right?
Yep.
Okay, nobody's had problems, okay. Good, all right. So it looks like here we have order of conditions and in process, which will be drafted up enforcement order, which will just make sure the restoration gets done. And set up a timetable, and it gives you a chance to respond, because part of that enforcement order would state that you need to come back with a slightly modified, now expanded as you just proposed here, plan, and take into account some of the comments made by our arborist landscape designer, Nicole. That all good?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So basically, from my end, I'm gonna make those revisions. We'll diversify the planting schedule, update the plan. And that's basically gonna be resubmitted, as soon as tomorrow to the Conservation Commission. And that will act as the document pertaining to the enforcement order, but that will also be the same documents applied to the septic contractor. It's probably going to be the same one doing the work. So we just want the approved septic plans to contain all of the required mitigation.
All right. And
Great.
the order of conditions is what they really wanted to go forward, not the enforcement order, to move the other forward.
Yeah,
When
I
we
think
have,
he's just,
will you have all that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Hannah will coordinate with you as far as getting the order of conditions and so forth, so you can jump forward with the project and get that septic replaced.
Okay.
Okay? Just keep in touch with them.
Great.
All right,
All right,
well,
good
thank you
luck.
very much, Peter. Good luck.
thank
Yep.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Do we have a blank sheet that sign in person now so you can fast track that?
the order of conditions. No. I wasn't sure if we were gonna close today.
All right.
Okay,
We can sign it online now, right?
yeah. we sign
Yeah, I
online.
just figured that.
We just watch that, it only takes a few seconds to sign online.
Yeah.
Well, for the days when we met in parking lots and signed on the back of car hoods and so forth, and cold on a Saturday morning, many a time. Hands frozen, going out now. Okay, we have a continued hearing for an order of conditions amendment request. Brian and company, feel free to come right up. Mechanic Street and Mill Street, map 31, lot 13-1, Red Mill and Charles. Amendment request for adjustments to roadways, stormwater management, infrastructure, and site grading. Toll northeast is the original applicant, order of conditions permit issued to Kevin Lovasier, and Brian Mann is the representative from LAC tonight. So before we get into all the various lots, we're going to talk in general about the overall amendment request, correct?
We did send a continuous request just while we're in.
It's not online.
So we're still waiting.
No,
Yeah,
that's
just come
all
in
right.
just now.
You have to do it tonight, we're not at all. Sorry, that's, we're very reasonable, but. Okay, so you have requested a continuation until. I'll say April 8th. Everybody wants to do everything April 8th.
I think we could push it because we don't have the peer review back yet. I mean, we're really not able to.
Okay, well, we certainly don't want to just continue on if you know you're not gonna be in 2 weeks ready,
Yeah.
when we have a very full agenda anyway.
When does the peer review do? Right, we've been,
So it's been an issue because the planning board, it was technically handled under the planning board for stormwater. And
oh,
they,
yeah,
instead of doing it under a minor amendment, they did it a major amendment. So we did just get the application in, but they're working on starting that review.
okay, so then, yeah, so you're right, it's gonna take a little bit of time, then you gotta digest it, we gotta, okay, so.
So continue to
So
the
it just makes
26th.
it more confusing because it's under planning board and because Rob left, it's just
Yeah,
made things a little.
we'll work through it,
You officially got it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was at the end, but no.
Oh, no, he's been gone.
2 weeks and out.
I thought it was.
No.
He ran.
He's missed.
Well, I know why he left and I,
Always roommate as a plan.
and do we know?
I wish
Sure,
him the best.
who are you doing for planning stuff like this coordination?
Amy's doing
Amy's
something,
doing-
but the town administrator is handling. The
Quite a bit of it.
majority of it. He was a planner.
Oh,
So, I
perfect.
mean, he's
And Wayland, right?
Joe.
Joe,
Joe.
Joe Lane.
Robert Bill?
Yeah, no, I can call him.
Thank God.
I don't call him Dennis, so that's okay. All right. All right, so we have a request to continue to the, what's calendar say, it's
22nd is the second one in April.
22nd, okay, I'll take it
Yay.
for April 22nd.
Won't be here till midnight.
Well, sounds fair.
Uh,
I don't see, I have to be things that
So,
are there.
This was originally two separate projects, right? And they're one now, and then just like. There they are.
One for the actual residential subdivision, and then there was a town municipal improvements project on town property.
Yeah, two separate.
They were, the plan set was kind of combined, but they were two separate orders.
So I recused myself from one of them. So can I vote?
I mean, we don't need you to vote technically.
Oh my God.
If you're concerned,
Probably
you
not.
definitely could
So-
recuse yourself. I'm not.
Listen, we don't need you to.
Oh, sweet and far.
Go with vice chair.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the amendment request is totally new, so I don't know what the conflict was back then. It's basically a new application, so.
It's my former current employer again, so I'll be there.
Doesn't look like they're associated.
Are they associated with the project anymore?
What's your former employer? If you-
Sage?
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Not that I mean, so Toll Brothers is in an agreement with, Bulbasaur for the property.
Well, Rose is a client too? Of Sage? Okay.
You may not know this.
Okay, well,
Yes, I don't.
probably,
Okay.
my suggestion is just recuse yourself for, just in case there is a possible conflict and that, state it that way, and that's fine. Like we have, we'll have quorum.
Form for next time.
Yeah.
I'll just keep one like where you go.
Okay, so we have a request from the applicant for this particular hearing. Continuation to continue to the evening of April 22nd. Accept a motion to use. So. Yeah, and James, I thought I heard James second.
Yeah, he said it.
I heard it in the ear before I saw it from the eye. Okay, so we have motion and a second to continue this to the evening of 22nd. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I would be shocked if there was any. All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Yes.
One recused.
And one recusal, Marianne, to avoid possible. I'm saying it that way, whether it's the right way to say it or not.
I like it.
And to avoid any potential conflict of interest due to state
Whatever relationship. I don't know.
right, employment conflict. Okay, so thank you. So just a minute. I mean,
All right, time for the headache.
okay, now for this next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items on the agenda. Which, just for the record, because the public doesn't always know that, or have access to the agenda. We have,
access to the agenda.
well, those that may be viewing it or whatever, just for the record, also for the note taker who, Caitlin Duquette.
Okay.
So that she can hopefully make more sense of this rather than less in note taking, and for the minutes. We have these 8 NOIs, new hearings, which we have Bellingham permit numbers, but no DEP numbers yet. Just for the record, and these are all constructions of single-family homes within the 100-foot buffer zone to BVW for the Red Mill and the Charles at Mechanic Street and Mill Street project. They're all in map 31, lots 13-1. And what I'm proposing that we do is we open them as a group thinking that because they are all the same project, same location, even though they may have different hearing numbers,
Well, that's.
CPW numbers.
Are there any that are substantially different?
No, the way we've grouped these, they're all pretty much the same part of the project site. Lots 8 through 15 are all within the 100-foot buffer zone to BBW. One of the lots is within the 100-foot buffer zone additionally to a vernal pool.
Okay. Just for note purposes, which one is that?
Lot 13.
13. Okay. And 100 of the vernal pool. Certified or potential?
Potential.
Okay.
I think it was confirmed to be certifiable through the ANRAD review process.
Okay. All right, so my suggestion for the commission to agree with, disagree with, or offer some suggestions differently, is that we open them all as a group, close them all as a group, but only discuss one of them just to get sort of a footprint or a basis for dealing with these, because we'll have, for the record, many more NOIs for this particular project coming up in blocks of 8 to 10 or 12 or.
This is the worst, the biggest batch. They're all good.
But the smaller batches, even though there's many properties, there may be some that will be without outside jurisdictional areas and others that will be within. But this will be repeated a number of times during the next couple of months. And to expedite things, but not to overlook important differences between potentially a lot here or a lot there. There may be a lot of difference, there may be not a lot. But anyway, we want to make sure that we have a sense of how to approach it. So that is my suggestion. We open them and close them as a group tonight, but discuss one of them as allow a brief presentation of it. Look at one of the NOIs rather than all 8 tonight, unless that's the commission wants
No.
to spend time looking at all 8 tonight.
I think we should look at all of them tonight.
In
And then
detail,
when-
all 44 pages worth of
No,
NOI.
we don't look at the NOIs during any meeting.
When you
But
say,
the
well, then you
site
need to
plan is for all
specify,
of them.
you need to specify
Um,
what you want to look at.
And we need to, when we open it, we need to say the lots that we're opening, and then when we talk about them, we should be clear about which lot we're talking about. So if we're talking about lot 9, say at the beginning, lot 9, I'm referring to lot 9 right here. What's that? And, okay, now we're moving on to lot 10, etc. And then we close them all at once. Sound good, everyone? Speaking out for whole piece?
I prefer that just because I think we have to think of this, although they are individual NOIs, we have to think of them collectively and their impact cumulatively on these BVWs. I'd rather look at them as a group.
We did do that during the initial plan.
I understand, but I think we still have to now look at the individual lot, because the lots are arbitrary. We just have to look at them individually, but as a collective.
Keeping in mind that without any DEP numbers, not much will
Right.
happen other than.
I guess this preference I'm saying is in perpetuity. Next time we have a meeting where we have these same 8 lots, I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, preferences in perpetuity.
Yeah. I don't change
Actual
preferences.
An interesting idea.
Any other thoughts from commission members on the opening, closing, the reviewing process as described / talked about by either Ariane or myself, because you all are looking at them too.
I think open as a group, give them each a pass, you know, we don't have to spend an hour on each.
Yeah, as long as it's legally fit.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right answer. I think
Yeah.
to decide as a group and if we get yelled at, we get yelled at.
Right, we will wait, we will follow up to see if we can get confirmation from town council / I guess maybe even potentially from the NCC or the DEP, that that's the right way to deal with this kind of project opening, since it's sort of unprecedented in town, this particular approach for this type of scale project.
Done this before.
Not in recent history.
Haven't we done it with one of your projects?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
All right, well, anyway, we'll continue to check. Hannah's asked town council for some opinion on this, but we haven't heard back. If we get mixed signals or we gotta do it this way next time when you do it, we'll follow up. I try not to
We looked at like 5, 6 lots at one.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
You just made.
I think
clear.
we're right. I agree with you, but I mean, I don't disagree with you that happened that way. That's fine. Okay,
But we do need to look at the plans for every lot. And make sure that all that stuff matches up. We all looked at the NOIs before in advance of the meeting.
Right. Yeah, I'll pull up every plan.
okay. All right, then.
Tackle it head
A
on.
lot of plans for all of them. Jeez.
Oh, they're all in
There's-
there.
They're one sheet, so.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, I will see if this jives with what we just said. I will open the multiple new hearings and I will read off the information about them. So that they are hopefully accurately captured for the record. These are new hearings for notices of intent for the Red Mill on the Charles at Mechanic Street and Mill Street. Map 31, lot 13-1. For the construction of a single-family home within the 100-foot buffer zone to BVW. The applicant is Toll Northeast V Corporation, 1616, and the applicant's representative is Brian Madden from LAC Environmental Consultants. The lots that are included in tonight's meeting as hearings are Lot 8, Lot 9, Lot 10, Lot 11, Lot 12, Lot 13, Lot 14, and Lot 15.
It's a lot.
Oh,
You
wow,
ain't
take it
kidding.
over for him, huh?
You aren't kidding. I play the straight man on that one. Okay, we are now, we have now opened all of those, I believe, as correctly as we needed to do so. And I will then. Do I want to pick the one that was the smallest one?
I was gonna say, if we're doing one tonight, we should probably, whichever one Brian thinks is the problem child of the bunch.
Well, I was just, should we just look at each of the lots
Well,
individually?
I
I
think,
think I can go through quickly.
Yeah.
I'll talk broadly and then I'll narrow it down, go through each site and then we can
Yep.
stop or go back.
okay, we'll ask the applicant's representative, Brian Mann, to provide a presentation which will include a broad overview / focus,
Yeah.
brief focus on each of the lots, identifying each of them and falls
Excuse me.
on plan view for us to review.
Is it both of you on Zoom? So it's not.
Yeah, it is. I didn't see Brian was already in. So that was.
We may have to toggle.
Okay, Brian, go for it.
Thank you. Brian Madden, from LEC Environmental Consultants.
I'm Liz Clark with Ty and Bond.
Jeff Heidelberg from Toll Brothers.
All right, thanks so much. So the lots in question are lots 8 through 15. These are within the westerly lobe of the larger subdivision, basically at the northerly end. The resource areas involved are bordering vegetated wetlands located off to the northeast and or to the east. Those are associated with a perennial stream, an unnamed perennial stream. None of these lots, 8 through 15, occur within riverfront area. There's no flood zone, no natural heritage mapping. It's only buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands. And one of the lots, lot 13, also has some work within the 100-foot buffer zone to vernal pool that was confirmed to be certifiable during the ANRAD review process with the larger subdivision. The site itself, again, is under active excavation. All these lots are currently within open cleared areas, devoid of any vegetation. And I will get into it on a lot by lot basis, starting with lot 8, which is just for subdivision orientation. Again, it's lot here that's red highlighted, north central on that westerly one. Railroad tracks off-site to the north, and again, open cleared areas. So how we've attacked each lot is to identify, color highlight what's within the buffer zone areas, provide those square footages, and provide a little bit more detail on regrading, which is also reflected in the site plan set, but also this is a little bit more detail on structural elements that were not approved under the subdivision wide order of conditions. And it specifically stated that individual notices would need to be filed for each lot within jurisdiction. So on this particular lot 8, you see the proposed dwelling with only the northeasterly corner minimally extending into the extreme outer 100-foot buffer zone. What's shown in this grid pattern highlighted is a future potential max outdoor living use area to be comprised of patio, stone patio that could contain fire pits or, other activities, landscaping and or decks with stairs. And any deck or stairs would need to comply with zoning setbacks that we've included here but this is the kind of max build out scenario that we are providing. And I'm going to stop there and see if there's any questions, and Liz can
If I could
certainly.
just jump in
Yeah.
real quick and explain the way that we approach this. So the way that we design the homes is we have a palette of different homes you could choose from. And then there is additionally some options you can add to the home. So maybe an exterior deck, it may be a bumped out garage. There's different features you can add to the home. So what we did was we created a composite home, which isn't actually what likely will be built. But we just used the maximum largest home plus all of the options that they potentially could buy, plus any outdoor living space that they could add. So if they basically decided to pick the largest house with all the options, with all the outdoor living spaces added on, this is what we could end up with. The idea being we wanted to show the maximum. And then once we go into construction, once we go to our certificate of compliance, after the fact, we may show you that they didn't build all that outdoor space. They didn't build all that additional patio going as far as this shows. But we wanted to make sure that we covered it in case that does get purchased by the homeowner.
And hopefully this process would avoid the need for, multiple, modification plans and or amendments. This is, encapsulating max build out scenario.
Just to be clear, different than a lot of developments that we've dealt with. You're saying that people are basically picking and choosing which house they want on the lot that they're then buying. And then you would build that house because you know the maximum one that could fit. And it won't exceed that. It's not like they're gonna pick a house that's too big to put on any given lot. But that these have not been picked yet, so, and people have not lined up to say, I'm on lot 6, I'm on lot 5, I'm on lot 4, and I want the house bump up A, B, C, D. So none of that has been done yet. So if you're proposing, are you proposing the largest house, the largest build out on every lot at this point in time?
Correct.
Knowing that they can only be smaller.
Correct. Or you could be equal or small.
But they won't not fit on the lot. Okay.
Correct.
All right, just make sure it's both clear for the record and for us.
Like a brochure of like the options developed yet that you could send us? Like,
I could give you,
And buying.
I could give you a similar community. I don't know that I believe we may have all the options because we had to come up with this somehow. So yeah, I think I can pull together something and provide you the details of like dimensions, if that's what you're looking for the various options.
yeah, dimensions and then just like what the amenities and features are that you're offering. Cause like, I mean, if one of them's like a pool, like something like that, then,
No, so these are like grills, fire pits, outdoor living space, decks, covered decks, things like that. Yes, yep.
And then the structure or the outdoor living uses will be surrounded by lawn with irrigation. There's also footing drains that are shown on individual lots.
Roof leaders? Going into the,
So all roof runoff or runoff from the driveways and from the structures themselves are going into the community-wide stormwater management system, and Liz can certainly.
yeah.
I thought that was mentioned in one of the earlier meetings, briefly in passing. I just want to make sure I had remembered it right. Okay, so they're not going into individuals per lot, it's going into the community level.
There There are a couple of lots, if you want to go into it.
Sure, I mean, just to start, all driveways are pitching towards the road away from the garage, so that'll be collected in the stormwater management system. And there are a few, could you pan over to the map? There are a few lots in the northeast corner of the site that do have the subsurface infiltration systems that will have roof leaders to make sure that the drainage goes to their individual chambers they have on lots. In this case, we don't have any tonight.
Because you couldn't get the pitch or whatever to get it to a community.
Yeah, the initial design had committed, or the approved design had committed to every single lot having those on-site infiltrators. And we did modify the stormwater management system so that the majority of the homes can go to the basins. This provides more flexibility on the lots for the development, as well as reduces individual homeowner maintenance. So we're, a little bit more assured our systems are maintained. So, yes, none of the lots we're talking about actually in the individual NOIs have those systems.
Thank you.
And then on this lot, starting with lot 8, all the work is between the 50 to 100-foot buffer zone, no work in the 50. That's off lot, that's defined by the red line boundary. As part of the amendment request, as we talked about at the last meeting, some of these off lot areas within jurisdictional areas would be temporarily disturbed, regraded, and then reestablished with either native loam seed mix or additional restoration plantings within some of the critical areas. But for all intents and purposes on these individual lots, it's basically just lawn and or ornamental landscaping.
That's to the lot limit, you're saying essentially everything.
These are small lots.
So how are the community stormwater systems being maintained again?
They will be conveyed to the town. So this is a subdivision, the roadways will be conveyed to the town, and easements have been provided for all basins along with access for them. And a maintenance budget has been established, and I think a portion will be funded as well.
So toll will maintain it until the town accepts it.
Correct. So I can move on to lot 9 if everyone's.
I'd like to just pose just a question. Really, this is for Mike. Since you've been here, I think the longest on both you guys. When, and this is just to help me process, and it may be a silly question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. When I see, 2,200 square feet of, permanent buffer zone impact, do we ever look for, commensurate open space or something else that's protected because it's within a buffer zone within that range? Is that something that, because I think I participated in discussions where that took place before. And so I just want to understand, when do we look for those opportunities to conserve, wetlands and protect as much as we
Somewhere
can?
on the site.
Yeah, somewhere else on the site versus when that's already been established and, because I don't want to ask that question every time I see it.
So the
I
site's
can-
been disturbed.
Right.
Sorry. It's been disturbed as part of the construction. Sorry, my voice is. You go ahead.
Yeah, so as part of the larger subdivision that we kind of touched upon at the initial amendment request hearing, but waiting for the peer review.
Yep.
So as part of the whole subdivision, there's about a little over 38 acres going into permanent open space that's going to be conveyed to the Conservation Commission. There's also a lot of riverfront area restoration areas that are going to be planted up, in addition to buffer zone restoration areas being planted up.
So all of that, because I recall the presentation. So that is what was designed specifically to address these individual lots. That's where I was going, because obviously there's a lot of road work, there's a lot of construction work that's going on. And so that was taken into consideration. For example, this 2,200 square feet.
Right,
Yeah.
so initially we took a look at it holistically. Here's the overall project,
Yeah.
here's the impacts of the overall project. That approval was granted. We're amending that approval based upon these changes that we
Yeah.
talked about. But essentially, let's say that we never came in for that amendment, it still would have needed to come in to do the individual lot subdivision, NOIs. And so that's what we're going through now is these individual lots. Whereas where we accommodated the open space and everything was, or is accounted for under the larger notice of intent, which we're going through the amendment of.
Okay.
I like the question though, Don, because it helps us put it in context as we're looking at. it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you chose this as the first one because it was the one on my notes that I wanted to go to, or an example like this, so I could address that.
Yeah, and you'll notice we have all the erosion control barriers shown on all the plans. Those are from the full plan set, and almost in all instances here, for the most part, they extend off the lot line. So you can envision between that lot line and that erosion control barrier, that's going to be restored, replanted, and left with natural lots.
Okay, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I've seen, since I've been on the board and toward areas, oftentimes, that those erosion controls, when they're not completely on the edge, they're left behind in the woods. And you find them later on. What do we have in place to ensure that that doesn't happen with this project? Because it's so big, I can easily see different contractors working on different things. And then we go back and we find that these erosion controls were removed a year after.
Yeah, that's generally when they come in for the certificate of compliance. That's
Okay.
something that when
That's
you
what
do
we
the
should-
site walk for that, if you see any erosion controls that are still there, as long as everything's stabilized,
Or
make sure they come
If they
out.
use the fully biodegradable ones, they can just leave them and they'll naturalize themselves.
Yeah, to a certain extent, and it takes forever.
No,
And you can look,
the core ones take like, I think, 3 or 4 years, and then they're mulch essentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
not the netted ones, the netted ones will never go away.
yeah.
And then in general, if the cat hair in my throat will let me talk. If like, it all depends on like what alternatives exist for a site. If, we wanna like do open space versus restoration or a combination of both, like, if there's no feasible way for them to restore it, but it's also like the only feasible option for a property, like, there's like a cost benefit.
Yeah.
That comes into play where it's like, we can't just like make you leave your property undeveloped if this is what you wanna do. So like, we have to come to an agreement, and sometimes that's like open space versus restoration, vice versa.
Good, thanks. All right, thank you.
All right, anything else on number 8 before we jump to number 9? Okay.
All right, so lot 9 is clockwise, moving to the east to the right. This is the plan for lot 9. We'll zoom in here a little bit. So similar, a little bit of encroachment for the dwelling itself. This is this line right here. Within the outer 100-foot buffer zone, and then the extension of that outdoor living area within that box footprint. You can see the 50-foot buffer zone off lot right here, and basically a smaller lot and very similar build out scenario.
So you can see here, it's a smaller home than what was shown on the last parcel. We're changing that maximum footprint based upon what could potentially fit on the home. So again, these are smaller lots. And so some of the smaller lots, even within the subdivision, we have to restrict even more.
So you wouldn't offer the house from number 8, the max size house on lot 9, because it wouldn't fit.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's a change from 2 weeks ago. I'm looking at our notes from last week, or I mean, from 2 weeks ago, and it looked like in this particular lot, it said 50 to 100 feet increase due to slope grading, 1,000 square feet. Looks like you changed that, but I don't see that same note on here.
Oh, you're talking about the riverfront area
Yeah.
expansion? That's a little bit to, I believe, the northwest, right?
That's more of the northwest.
Going upslope,
That's actually outside of the lot, right?
outside of these lots.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
correct.
okay.
Is there gonna be a fence or something on the property boundary? Towards the wetlands?
No, there's not a planned fence at this time.
So there are supposed to be concrete bounds at the edge of the open space on all of the lots for the order of conditions for
So
the overall larger plan. So they're supposed to be the concrete bounds with the one at each apex and then one in the mid.
Like a
midpoint.
post?
I think the concrete bounds don't have to be more than like a foot off the ground, do they?
No, I think they're taller.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I'd have to look back at the detail. Generally, I've seen 6 to 12 inches.
So not something we would be putting a marker on.
I think they're supposed to have marker. I can look at
But
the
6 inch or
overall
12 inch.
order, but
we've
yeah,
lost.
there are supposed to be bounds at the edge of all of the lots before you get to the conservation open space.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe as Don may be alluding to or getting towards a 12 inch or whatever the bound maximum height could be, they're not gonna voluntarily necessarily without being told they need to. Those are perfect spots to put them if they're on the end of the property already, not to add posts or something like we just got off the project where they put tap on there, but they're only a foot tall, they're not gonna, what's that? This one?
It's like a survey bound, you can't really put posts on it.
Not put a post on it necessarily, but if they're not gonna be tall enough to be usable for putting our, do not go beyond this point. Signage, which is what you were getting at, then we'd have to specify putting an additional post. If they could make those taller, if there's an option to do that, and then we could just mount them on there, then you already have those, you don't have to add more posts. So that's something to look into down the road, make a note of.
I mean, my concern is gonna be just on the topic of nothing being in the backyard is, I think we see it all the time is,
Oh, yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, I could have a
Someone's-
bigger yard.
yeah, or someone's gonna be throwing their clippings back there, or a tire, or who knows what they're.
Or
throwing
just
back
clear
there.
further,
Right. So I
like
think
we just
that's,
had earlier today.
I think that's something we collectively should think about on these lots specifically that have
Well, on any lots that I think have
resource area behind them, right, that's what I mean.
and or open space, which I think most of the open space has resources.
Yeah.
We'll take a closer look, as Hannah said, what was included in the original order, and then, we can circle back on that point.
I'm guessing we probably were like, we'll include that in the individual or not.
They were bound to look at it sometime. Okay,
Thank you.
any other questions on number 9? Oh, you still got anything else on number 9?
No, I was just gonna move along.
Okay.
I have a question, this might apply to other sites, but just because I'm seeing it here, so you have marked out the setbacks. So part of the impervious area within resource area is further beyond the setback. That's outdoor living space out there, or that's the dwelling?
That would be outdoor living,
It's
yeah.
hard to see.
Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can kind of see this footprint right here. This is the edge of the dwelling
Oh.
itself. And then if you can see what's underneath,
Up the stairs.
yeah, here's a little potential outdoor deck and here's a set of stairs all within the zoning setback. That could potentially be like patio or some sort of landscaping. Beyond into the setback.
That's what I
Would be
figured.
allowed.
I just wanted to make sure, because with the hexagon thing,
Yeah.
it was hard to see.
Yeah, we grouped it together to show the max potential and account for it. Oops.
Yeah, just to clarify the last question, the bounds are specified to be 4 feet high and to have signage that has no disturbance zone on it as well.
Oh, all 4 in the first
Yeah.
one. Good.
Great, thank
Number
you.
52.
Because we've used cedar posts.
There you go, Hannah. Good memory.
We'll get into this later. It's fine.
Well, concrete or cedar, whatever they are, something that will last a long
So
time.
they're installed as to be easily visible with a height of 4 feet.
Okay, and that's specified for anything that has a resource area behind that property, but not necessarily going to be every lot on the site.
Lots of budding open space.
Okay,
Which I believe is gonna be everything.
I was gonna say, it's gonna be riverfront's gonna be BB buffer zone area,
Right.
that's gonna also be open space. Open
Yep.
space.
Every lot you see.
Keep it separate.
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
it's number 10.
so continuing on clockwise to the east southeast, lot 10, similar thing. buffer zone to, BBW. On this lot, there is a little bit, nibbling into between the 25 to 50 foot within the outer 50-foot buffer zone. That's 203 square feet. But same thing, the structure, this is very similar, I think the same model as, lot 9. The same kind of lot configuration, lot size, and, with the outdoor living to the north. And I'll just pause there.
Does BF stand for basement foundation?
Basement floor.
233.6,
Yeah, basement floor.
basement floor, okay.
Yeah, these, all in this row are walkouts.
Yeah, I saw the walkout part, I just wasn't sure, I didn't want to assume anything when I see the initials, abbreviation could be best friend, I don't know, whatever. Okay, good, thanks.
Moving on to lot 11. Wow, it's a lot. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Can't use that word anyway, though. You don't read this, right?
1,300 feet within the 25 to 50.
Yeah, it's a much bigger impact.
Yeah, so you can see this lot, there's a little bit of the lot that's not being altered, in this corner right here. That again is matching, I believe, in this specific location, the approved limits of work, no changes here. But working up to the 25 foot. And again, cumulatively, that was addressed, subdivision wide, with the restoration areas and in more sensitive areas. Very similar design to the last couple lots.
So if all of this has been addressed within that, help me understand, what are we looking at all this for?
Because each lot individually will be constructed and will need its own permit to close out. So once we're under construction, that one lot can get an enforcement order. That one lot would need a certificate of compliance for closeout so that it can stand on its own, with your commission and for our own construction team.
In some other developments, we've done some lots, the homeowner buys it and doesn't get around to it for a while, then wants to get a certificate of compliance or whatever, and finds that they didn't have something done, like the rain garden didn't get maintained or whatever, and so we have to deal with that individual homeowner as opposed to part of the overall big project, but.
It's also like the structures themselves is, you are permitting, like that's also what you're.
I would say more of the complicated, subdivision wide features like the restoration, stormwater, wetland replication, the wetland crossings, that's all in Cole's arena. But yeah, the way that order was set up, it didn't approve the individual house constructions. I've seen it done multiple ways. Some group them all together, some require on a lot by lot basis, and we deal with that quite a bit.
So this isn't like a foregone conclusion. We do have to review each of these footprints and what we think of the.
Any that fall within our jurisdiction.
Yes.
Some of these lots we won't review because they're outside of our purview.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the limit of work for the subdivision has already been approved, subject to amendment, obviously, that they presented. These are just individual house lots that.
Right, but we have, we've got, I'm making it up here, but we got about 65-70% of this lot is within 100 feet plus.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to seeing that.
And if they had not addressed that in the overall and found replication areas or restoration areas to make up for this, then they wouldn't have been approved at this point in time. We would be saying, nope, you can't do this here because we're just looking at this one lot and you've exceeded the maximum on probably for any standard, 60% of the lot, if that's what it is, if you're into the buffer zone, impacts that, without an overall. So yeah, because those have all been covered. And more than covered? Was it like 2-1, 1-1? I don't remember the original.
Yeah, I mean, we
Restoration
are doing
versus-
more than what was approved. We expanded riverfront
Yeah.
area, restoration areas, minimized riverfront area impacts. And you know, as we talked about at the last meeting, we did see some other opportunities to do some additional revegetation within the buffer zone.
And so we respected the limit of work lines that were presented in the initial order and then the amended order that we're requesting. And as you can see, grading out these lots is pretty difficult with the tight site that we have. And so a lot of these end up being walkouts, as you noted. What ends up happening with those walkouts on the backside is no matter what, you need a door out the back of the home on the living level, which needs to have a landing. And then you need stairs from that landing down to grade as a minimum. So this outdoor living space that we define in the back, the vast majority of it is going to need to cover that landing area that's obligated by code and the staircase down to grade. So it's not, we're not just pushing this to push it, we're looking at what is reasonable here, considering these are walkouts, we need to have those landings, we need to have stairs down to grade.
No, offering the L&T option, ladder and trampolines. Down and out. Getting back up is a little harder because if you jump too far,
Takes practice.
okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
So moving on to lot 12, this is the last lot in this batch before we just jump to the other side of a stormwater basin. And I'm gonna circle back after I go over this one for a second. So again, to the east is lot 12. You can see the beginnings directly to the east of the stormwater basin. That's off lot, but very similar design from the last few. And these are the plans that were submitted as part of the original notices. We did note that there were some retaining walls that we're not including in these plans, some of which are off lot, but maybe extend on the lot or along the lot line that were included in the full subdivision plan set as part of the amendment request. So we did submit updated plans of that. So just to go over very briefly, going back to lot 10, you can see this dark bold line is a retaining wall that extends across to lot 11. So it's off property on lot 10, but it does then go on to lot 11. And so anything on the other side of that retaining wall isn't necessarily going to be lawn permanently. That will define the limits of the development footprint per se. You can just see that continuation onto lot 12 there and then terminating, just chasing the grades.
Which you guys don't have these yet. I didn't have a chance to upload those into the portal, but they'll be in there for next time.
Is that an update because of the plan that was amended for our last hearing?
Yes, the retaining walls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually new. It was on the full plan set. We just noted it didn't get shown on these individual NOIs.
Let me ask another, maybe moronic question, but with these lots, have we considered, because of like their location to wetlands, have we considered things like, or can you restrict fertilizer use, insecticide use, that kind of thing in
Be a condition.
these specific lots? They're so close to wetlands, that's just my main concern is minimizing contamination into the
Yeah,
wetlands.
I mean, there's no real room for like plantings or anything instead of
No,
lawn, so.
Right.
That was what I was thinking. I was like,
Condition that before, just like we conditioned like no salt areas, same sort of deal.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it'll necessarily be followed by a homeowner 10 years from now, but.
No, I
still
know.
make it a
I
legally
know.
binding condition.
Normally, I'm not that concerned. It's just that these are in, so close and in many cases inside.
And to your point, these are gonna be individual lot, notice of
Yeah.
offense, individual lot, order of conditions, you can definitely condition these.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't as moronic as I thought it was gonna be.
Like sounds dumb.
The night's still young, Don.
They still young, I'll get there, trust me.
Yeah, and by the time when COCs are filed for these individual lots, there can be ongoing conditions on a lot by lot
Mhm.
basis.
Thank you.
All right, I'll jump over to lot 13. So this is on the other side of the stormwater basin, just continuing along on clockwise along that outer road system. The vernal pool is right here, an isolated vegetated wetland vernal pool. BVW is over here. And then I'll just zoom into the lot. This. So purple is the buffer zone to the vernal pool to the north. That's off page. You can see there's no work within the 50-foot buffer zone to that vernal pool. That was purposeful as part of the larger subdivision review. There is some overlap into BVW within green, within the 100-foot buffer zone. Again, that's to the BVW to the unnamed perennial stream. No riverfront area again on any of these lots. And an open, cleared, disturbed setting right now. And on this lot, this was also an additional update where we did show there is actually a retaining wall that was, I think that was an initial
Yeah, I
design.
think that one was
Yeah.
not changed from the initial.
Yeah, so
amended one.
that's been retained along the limit of work up gradient of that vernal pool to the west and to the south. And you can only see like a very small portion extends onto the lot. It's primarily off lot.
There's steep sites.
Are they gonna have sewer?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a few sewer pump stations. So again, this is the only lot that's within the 100-foot buffer zone to a vernal pool in this first group. And again, open and cleared right now. All right, I can move on.
Sure. Any questions? No? Okay.
So lot 14, moving down to the south. This one only has the 100-foot buffer zone to the BVW. You can see we're starting to now get just off page the 200-foot riverfront area buffer, riverfront area. That's just off lot to the east. And only a small portion of the future potential outdoor living uses gets into the 100-foot buffer zone. You can see here more clearly where the deck and a landing is upstairs outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. So only basically lawn within that outer 100-foot, greater than 50 feet. Then our last one is lot 15. That is, you can kind of see in this photo, we're starting to abut another stormwater basin. And that's to the east. But lot 15 is to the south, and only a very tiny, small little corner occurs in the 100-foot buffer zone, and that's 82 square feet. So we ended with a whipper.
Sound disappointed. Teeny 82.
So again, we wanted to keep everything consistent with notices, so they're all being reviewed by the board.
Mm-hmm. Any questions about 15?
No, that was helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
And so these are how the future NOIs are going to look. We want to make sure from a presentation standpoint, we're answering any questions proactively and everyone understands kind of the model design and the outdoor living use areas and how it's all integrated. But appreciate all the feedback, and certainly the next batch we'll get into riverfront area impacts, but you know, this was again primarily just outer 100-foot buffer zone for the most part.
So I have another question about the stormwater system that might be a dumb question, but dumb. Phosphorus reduction, so do you know how much is being reduced, or do you plan to reduce any?
So we are achieving probably a substantial amount. We have infiltrative basins spread throughout the site. Infiltration is by far your best bet for removing phosphorus. You're essentially getting rid of the runoff, which gets rid of the pollutant. The submission, the initial submission was prior to the promulgation of the new stormwater regulations, so it was never scoped to provide those calculations. So we don't have those numbers. I do know that we are probably meeting or exceeding the requirement though, just
Because the Charles River has a TMDL. for phosphorus.
yeah, fully aware.
Okay, good point. Any other questions in general about the methodology? Think it works for you guys?
It's a logistical question.
Sure.
So is the plan to open and close a batch at a time? Or like when you have applications ready for the next set, if these are not closed out, are you still planning on submitting that batch?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, if, we wanted to make sure that we're heading in the right direction here, wanted to get your feedback. I'm not sure if you can close an issue an order.
BP number we can.
Right, I was gonna suggest, prior to the amended order of condition, the larger amended order of conditions, maybe it's conditioned upon that approval, then these are valid orders, something like that. I'm not sure if that's allowable or not. But the idea here was we can start opening these, we can at least talk about them, and then when the time comes that everyone is comfortable to close, we can close, whether that's before that amended order is closed or not.
Yeah, I guess my concern is there's already 8 now. So if we don't have that amended order finalized for the next, I don't know, month or two, and then we get another batch of 8 or 10, we're gonna have 20 of just this project on an agenda. Plus, we have a busy agenda regardless of this. That's why I'm more asking, is it logistically, what's your plan on submitting, say, the next batch that might include those riverfront area? Like what do you, I'm assuming you have at least the applications ready, you weren't just waiting to submit them.
We just submitted 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Only 4.
Or, yeah.
there's 36 total.
34.
34?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we're cognizant of the commission's time and the agenda, you know, hopefully this answers a lot of questions up front. I think, you know, given a lighter agenda, it was good to go through these in a little bit more detail. Hopefully, the more we get into this, it's a little bit more formulaic and we understand how the plans are presenting and what the impacts are being. I think the major domino will be the amendment request And that brings it full circle, and hopefully this is much simpler moving forward.
What was the question you asked that we said, yeah, we can do this for each site, I mean, each individual lot if needed. You had asked about a specific environmental impact on one of these earlier ones. What's that? Fertilizers, yeah. So at some point in time.
Yeah.
Prior to closing any of these individual lots down the road, ways, of the loop or whatever they're on. We're going to potentially want to have anybody on the commission who has a concern about a particular lot, like. Put fertilizer runoff, it's more general for more than one lot, but if there's a specific about any individual lot that you note. During the presentation process or reviewing the information in the portal, whatever, please make a note of it and make sure that Hannah knows it too, so that we can. Bring it up in a timely manner and not miss out when we close out on it. I hate to close out on one of the properties and have somebody say after the fact, 2 weeks later, oh, I meant to say on lot 11, well, sorry,
Yeah.
everything closed out. We don't want to redo that. So as you think of them, anything, just bring those, so we pile up. Whether it's individual for a lot or like Don said, fertilizer runoff and so forth, or limiting fertilizers and so forth. Things like that, or the bounds, we've already talked about that a little bit, things like that, anything that's more general widespread, so.
Yeah, why don't you send an email with like the title and like BCC all of us, so that we can just reply to it and then it's all in one chain.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's how your Outlook works.
Yeah, I can do that.
Pretty much that.
So you're not getting 1,000 emails called like lot 10 and one called like Mill Estates.
That's a good point, yeah.
Do we have, I'm assuming you guys do, prior time bond month, just a map book of all the lots, the lot plans, instead of having to go through to the individual NOI application and scroll all the way down?
Oh, yeah.
If we could have a book that just.
Is this what we just showed you?
Yeah, so instead of like, because we're gonna go lot to lot, so if we could just flip the page essentially and go to the next lot. Instead of opening up a different application.
Submit it both ways.
That would be fine.
Cause if they do it together and I have to, cause I have all the folders that I have to save them to individually, so that if I have to split all the documents to.
So you need it both ways essentially, yeah.
So digital scissors, don't they make those? You can just do it.
Yeah,
They
they,
think just us having a master copy of.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
Helpful for me at least.
Mhm.
And Hannah, refresh my memory, timing wise, we've opened these. The clock tick, I've forgotten for, I don't know why.
There's no ticking, cause we opened it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we opened it before, but now that we've reviewed them, before something has to be done to close them, we don't have to extend beyond.
No
Okay.
documents. Just once you close the closing, then we have 21 days to issue the permit.
So
That's-
instead of closing these, we want to continue them.
Yes.
So I will, right, well, I'm gonna say now, unless some people have additional questions about these 8 or want to spend more time here tonight,
When do you want to continue to?
that's a good question.
Probably not 2 weeks, right?
1 second.
Yeah, we can continue to 22nd. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to continue all 8 of these hearings for lot 8, lot 9, lot 10, lot 11, lot 12, lot 13, lot 14, and lot 15 of Red Mill on the Charles at Mechanic Street and Mill Street, map 31, lot 13-1, through the evening of April 22nd?
Yeah.
March 26th.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second by Don Pinto. Any other discussion about that continuation motion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Can
Opposed?
you vote on this one?
Okay,
New hearing.
I'm hearing, so you can go.
That was really, really helpful. I
Right,
appreciate it.
so that's the unanimous vote, thank you.
And I guess, like, if you don't mind, I know that, the week of the 22nd is a school vacation week. I don't know if anyone has any vacation plans, or just wanna.
Are you taking us down to Disney World? Is it?
Come on.
Yeah.
Just with everything queuing up, we wanted just to be cognizant of quorums and.
Well,
I know I will not be here.
I have a teacher, but I don't know if
Different
we're-
commission hearing that night. I at least won't be here. I might be able to join virtually later.
All right, I appreciate
one's
it.
beautiful.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking.
Okay, well, good, well, thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, what's an easy way to get back of, say, any of the lots, legal communities that, have, boring wetlands, vernal pool, river flood? Because I think, at least I know in my mind, some of the order of positions that I'll wanna propose will be related to, well, it has to go down to each individual lot, it's a blanket statement, in other words, if it's going to have an impact or adjacent to wetlands, et cetera, I'd want those order of conditions, make it easy for us to, not miss anything, but thank you. Is there an easy way for us?
Like Ariane said, like having certain conditions for certain things, and I can start kind of base orders for like, okay, if it has this, it's probably gonna look like this. If it
Yeah,
has this, it's probably
okay.
gonna look like
If you
this.
keep track, and I think it'll be easier because there's gonna be so many of
Yeah.
these and
How
I
do
try to
you,
go back.
how do you take notes usually when we're here? Is it on your computer?
No,
Okay.
I usually write it down.
I'm wondering if maybe you should have like, for stuff like these types of projects, like a Word document or something and have like the lots.
Like an Excel.
Like an overall sheet for all of them.
Yeah, and something where like Don says, like some lots might have more restrictive conditions and we want to keep, we
Right.
don't want to just have a blanket condition.
Like a spreadsheet with that
System
tab.
or something. I have faith in Hannah.
I just don't want her to get carpal tunnel
She-
writing
if she
all
left
of
it-
down.
Look, I believe in her and I trust her.
I believe in her. I want that as a bumper sticker. I believe in
Here, trust me.
Hannah. In Hannah we trust.
Your office really isn't that bad.
It's not that bad, but
No.
the papers, it
Yeah.
starts to be like, oh. But no, that's a good point. I think I'll have like some sort of overall
Well, I wanna wait till she sends us the.
folder for that, and then
It's all
I think I'll keep writing, because for some reason that's easier for me. But I'll write it, and then the next day I'll make sure I upload that stuff to like the thing.
Just the notes, cause I'm like, we get into like the little mumbling conversations and then we forget that that's something we talked
Yeah.
about.
Yep.
And then when it comes time to remembering all the conditions.
Yep.
Like,
Right, that's what I'm afraid.
That's for yourself, Mumbles.
I
I forget
to
things.
limit that, so if I come off as rude, but I'm
You're
thinking,
good.
I'm always thinking about like what the people who are writing the minutes are gonna like hear.
David
And,
Duquette?
like, they're gonna hear like a wicked long conversation that's like rambling on endlessly, and I'm like, this poor minute taker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about mumbling, so I was gonna say, Arian, you're the quietest talker I've ever
Yeah.
heard in my life.
Like, I tried it last week.
I whisper louder than you talk.
Yeah.
I only have two volumes. One is this and the other is screaming.
Oh,
at the
I
top
only
of my
wanna hear
lungs,
this
and
one.
it sounds like that a little louder. I can't.
that's kind of hard. When someone says you're quiet, then you yell, it's funny.
I want to hear you.
Okay, so Hannah has a couple of other things under other business.
Yep.
COC. Yeah, so I mean, I put all the documents that are in there. This is from like 1998, but they never got a certificate of compliance for this one. And we're slowly going back through like open orders, but
This is, we think it's with them, something that's selling the property or something, right?
couldn't tell you. But
Right there.
I was also born in 98.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I just look and sound a lot older than you. I'm 27, I swear to
You're
God.
very mature. You're very, that's why.
No, I haven't gonna do it unfortunately.
Hold on to.
Belongs to be a millennial.
I'm at the age where I like become friends with new people at work. Oh, I'm 18.
Yeah, we hired a bunch of new guys. I'm not the young one anymore. That's kind of stinks. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so this is a COC from 1998 that they never got the COC for, but they're selling it and the person saw it on the title that was never closed out. Thankfully, it was the same guy, and although they didn't have an as-built of everything, they had an as-built of the septic, they had an as-built of the foundation, and they had somebody come in. Yes, yep, there's an on-site septic. It was actually just re-inspected too.
Was this a commercial?
Yep, commercial building.
I was gonna say, it'd be weird to have an order conditions registered to like a homeowner and the name of it is.
Yeah, Victory Heating, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so for the stormwater, they had thankfully the same engineer that did the plans was able to do the as-built, and they had somebody come out to inspect the stormwater system, look through the pipes, make sure the inspections were being done, and did any cleanups that were necessary. So I was like, you know, for 98, I feel like that's as good as you can possibly get for.
Did you go on site?
Yes, and I went on site.
That's
So,
fine, and
and
it was
it looked
been lasting
fine.
for 27 years, I think
It-
it's probably good.
exactly, and it seemed like everything was.
I don't know if they mistyped it. I think it was that one where they said they inspected the dribbage, and I think they meant to say drainage. But maybe, I thought dribbage was a new word that I didn't know for septic stuff.
You remember that from 98?
No, it was in the letter in the portal. It was in the letter from the guy in the portal. I didn't know it was inspected. The dribbage, I'm like.
So
dribbage?
important that dribbage is
stuck
stuck
with there for long.
It sounds like a real word.
Yeah, whatever.
What do
Okay.
you do to
So
address that dribbage?
I went out, I did a site inspection on the 19th, everything looked fine. There's some ongoing conditions from the special conditions that primarily just relate to the upkeep of the stormwater management system and the operation and maintenance plan.
How did it look itself, the property?
Looked fine,
Looked
fine, fine. It really helps because there's a stone retaining wall that was there before they even got, not stone, concrete, before they even got the order of conditions. So it was like a really old thing that had been developed, like pre a lot of the wetlands regs. So they just essentially made that be the limit of development.
Okay,
So made it very, very easy. But yes,
so nothing looking controversial to it,
nope.
all right?
That's right.
The only thing I was concerned about was the stormwater, because it's hard to re-inspect because the stormwater's underground. But they had people come out, they did the inspections, they did the maintenance.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's good to me.
So what do we need to do with that?
Um,
Sign off on it?
yes, yep. Actually, I think it needs to be vote to
Issue.
issue a certificate of compliance and then you sign.
So someone wanted to make a motion?
So I'll make a motion to approve the order of conditions for, what is it?
Issue a
115.
certificate of compliance.
Issue a certificate of compliance. Is it 115
Yep.
Mendon Road? Thank you. I don't have my glasses.
Oh, well.
I'm looking at the wall. Why not?
We have a motion, do we have a second? Thank you, Ariane. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, okay, unanimous.
I don't think I can vote on that. I wasn't alive.
Yeah, we were. I was alive, but I was.
That's okay, it doesn't matter.
What?
Yeah, that is-
You might have been alive.
I know, depends on when in my DA.
Maybe for this hearing, but then you can vote, saying you weren't born. That's what I'm gonna
The world's a crazy place.
The guy died.
I've been on my job longer than about half the staff. I've been born.
I've enjoyed it.
January 29th.
I wasn't born yet.
So,
I was born in April.
yeah, September.
David.
Turning 28 or turning 27?
2028. Yeah.
Just.
Well, he's my daughter's agent, so we gotta.
Yeah, I was in between,
Yeah.
both of his daughters, and
Next week.
Yeah, I'd be proud if he was my son.
Aw.
Yeah, when we got on the board, when we were naming it, when we were kind of going through it, I told him, I said, if there's only one position, you take it. Because he's knowledgeable and I trust his judgment.
we had two spots open.
Yeah.
Not going on.
Yeah.
Before we get to the fun one, anybody have any comments about the minutes? I did not finish reading them, so I won't comment on them, but whatever, started to read was good. Anybody?
I read the first, like.
I mean, it's only the last meeting's minutes, so if you want to skip them and do them next time, that's fine. What's the sense from Marianne and Dan? Minutes, do you
I
want
opened it on my
to
phone, but I never read it.
wait till next time?
I'm fine with passing them. I didn't read them.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's only pass on.
All right, well,
We'll just pass on, we'll bring it up next time. We're caught up. Okay, so now everybody look at your calendars because we got the
Yeah, this has been.
Herculean effort here. I was only joking when I said spreadsheet in there.
I like the poll edition.
I'm like, I don't know if it would be better to just have like one or two people out there, at least for this Lake Street one. And I do actually have a plan that I meant to put it on the portal, but I did not, but I can share the screen at least of the plan that they submitted, which I they increased the number of plantings, and I'll, forward this to you full, just so you can get a better look at it. It did not, no, this one's the,
The three properties.
Yeah.
like,
Jeez Louise.
they did not have
wow.
many at first, but I asked them to increase it. They didn't show the limit of where cutting was done, which I also
Which house did we go
requested.
to, 100?
Yeah, we went
Yeah,
to this
and
one,
then just kind of looked
and we
that
kind of
way.
walked over here, and then we
Yeah.
walked up into here,
Yeah,
but I know I didn't go this Lake Street's right here, yeah.
and they proposed a mix of white pine, white oak, and red oak.
Okay,
I don't know,
that's a legitimate.
but yeah,
Do we think that 96 goes down far enough towards Lake Street? Was it clear cut down to Lake Street?
I don't think it.
'Cause he's
was
stopping
clear
with the
cut
tree.
all the way to Lake Street. It didn't.
no, yeah, it was
Yeah.
mostly in this
Okay,
area.
all right, I trust your sidewalk, for that,
Yeah.
or in the pictures, okay.
That's why I was like, I mean, I would like other people to go out there with me, at least
I'm
one
more than
person.
happy to.
But
Yeah,
I was like,
I
maybe we just try to not, like, it's getting 43 and this one on the same day is proving to be very challenging.
From our point or from the applicant, I mean, the property owners?
And that like theirs together.
Are you calling this?
So
When
that's
would you
the-
like to do it?
Okay, people listen up, she's gonna suggest some times.
I mean,
That doesn't sound like she is.
yeah, that's the,
Put her on
that's
the
the
Put her on the spot.
It's not during the weekend. Not gonna be available.
Oh, no, if it's not during the weekend time, you can't be available.
It's not on the weekend.
right.
If it is on the weekend, I still might.
Right, that's, yeah, and the Easter weekend, because we were trying to do the 4th, because it seemed like a lot of you could make that, but then neither of the applicants could make that date.
So,
What's this traipse around the property with that?
don't we have open enforcement orders?
We haven't issued enforcement orders yet.
Say, I thought we had trespass rights if we had the enforcement orders.
No, I mean, I could see if like the representative from this, Vinny, he's like, oh yeah, I could just meet you out there basically whenever, but
No, I'd rather have property owner permission.
yeah, it's just been, so coordinating's been tough. So I'm like, do you guys really want to go out here, or are you like, it's fine?
This is to-
Hannah and
This is
one other person.
specifically Lake Street.
Yes,
I
for
would
Lake
like to
Street.
go out there, cause
You
I
would
would see what it
still
looks
like to
like
go
now
there?
compared to
Okay.
the.
Same.
Can anyone do like later evening? Because it
Weekday
seems like weekends,
weekends?
because they were able to do the 28th. So
Who can make the
that's a
28th?
Saturday, but
Oh.
I can't do, like, I can do either the 4th or the 28th. I can't do both.
You do like early evening on a weekday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. If anybody could do any early evenings.
Yeah, anything
would
other
be
than
ideal.
Wednesdays usually on.
Okay.
When does this have to be done, like next week, or can it be a week after?
I mean, it can be a week. I just want to get it done earlier so we can say, okay, go plant, just so
Cause
they.
now's the
just-
time, in the
exact-
next month.
Exactly,
Yeah, 'cause
which
the
is.
the only
I
time I
was-
have next week is.
I was hoping
Like,
we would
if
have
there-
this earlier, but then the snow lasted so long, and then people couldn't meet, and then it just kind of.
They're home tomorrow on Friday.
Friday, okay.
I could do next week in an evening, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday I could do.
Okay.
Sounds like next Tuesday might
So
be.
maybe
Yeah, I
next
could do the
Tuesday.
31st.
I can
Okay,
go
next
next
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
what time? Anytime?
Probably anytime after 3.
Okay.
I probably couldn't get back here till like 3:45.
Okay, so maybe 4.
And just Tuesday at 4, just so we're clear, next Tuesday is the 31st. Yes. Guess you're looking for a date as opposed to a day of the week.
Yeah, anything.
Weird
after
hours.
3, so, yeah, I'm right.
I will see. Yeah, I can do that. And then,
No, I work from home Tuesdays, so I can just kind of duck out.
and potentially I'll see if, I mean, if homeowners need it to be a little bit later, just because of their schedules, it might be later, but I'll try to aim for next Tuesday. And then the other one is 43 Easy Street, which nobody's been able to get out there yet. The only time I went out there, there was still snow. That's the one with the chicken coops. She was not able to do any weekends until the like April 24th or something. She's got like 3 kids, so I don't know if they have like travel stuff. So I was like, okay, that might be another situation where we have to do a night thing. She has like 3 or exactly 3.
Yeah, she has managed.
Sure. I saw kids running and then she also said, oh, I'm getting all of them into the car. So I
More than
think 3. I think more than 2.
Hard to tell with all the chickens. Okay,
What's going on? But
so
yeah,
you're
so
gonna
that
check and see, maybe not next week, but the week after, you think? Oh, no, she can't do it.
I mean, I don't know if we would want to try to do 2 meetings also on Tuesday, but I can see if she could do next Tuesday later in the day, if that possible.
I would say at this point, reach out to them and say, hey, in the next 2 weeks, when are you available?
Okay, and then just pick one of those.
And
Okay,
then, yeah,
okay,
I'd rather at least one of us get eyes on it
yes.
than to just let it go for weeks.
That's exactly, I was like, that's not gonna work going all the way into April.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I really tried to get them on the same day, did not work.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
Trying your best.
All right,
And so what day was that one?
I'm gonna ask her bill.
Oh, you'll ask
for
her
the
the
next
next
2
2
weeks.
weeks. Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, just the note that I did check and it is the May 27th meeting is town meeting, so that's the one that's gonna be canceled.
We want to put that out there.
I should mention at the next meeting.
Yeah. Yep.
And vote on it?
Hmm?
Do we have to vote on it?
To not hold it, don't we? Did that last time.
Yeah, I guess might as well. Why not?
I'll make a motion to cancel the meeting that was supposed to be held on May 27th, 2026.
So,
May 27th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We have a motion to cancel the meeting for the Conservation Commission from the evening of May 27th. You need a second.
I seconded.
Oh, I didn't hear. So silent, so quiet. Okay, seconded. Any other discussion?
That means everyone has to be at town meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Hopefully see you guys there.
I'll try to remember to mention that at the April meeting.
Good time, you get to hit the clicker.
Yeah.
I know, you get to
See where all the money- see where all the money goes in
the
town.
beauty of living in this town, you actually
So
have
are we?
some
Are
influence.
we adjourning?
Unless we have, I'm gonna ask if anyone has.
Emails that we got.
Oh, the rats.
They're
Oh, I don't know why DPW like has that email server, because it's like, I'm just gonna go out there and do it. That's how we do all the other stuff. I don't know why they like send it out to everybody. But yeah, I went out there. There's, it's.
Rats can be hard to find. You
Well,
gotta check.
Right.
The rats don't
that's-
have any jurisdiction over, but the dumping,
Whatever.
the dumping.
There's no
I
dumping in the
don't see
wetlands.
any dumping on the aerial, but I
What if
did
someone is
see
dumping rats in the
in
wetland?
Blackstone, that property.
That's natural.
Right, but that is downstream and the state is on that.
Are we supposed to get an
Yeah,
So I
That's-
yeah.
Were we
No,
supposed
it's,
to?
yeah, that's
No
the
one's
thing, but yeah, the
rats?
state
Yes,
is.
Yeah, some
that.
residents complaining,
But yes, I went out and looked, there was
Rats
like,
are,
piled
Are
stuff in
Somebody's
their
got a snake
back,
in their
like
feet.
right off the edge of their
Get it
backyard.
paid, out the
But
yard.
it looked like it was
I
on
get
their
to see
property,
those.
it wasn't on
No,
town
maybe
owned
the
property,
no.
No, I.
they weren't filling any
I would have
wetlands.
enjoyed
Like
reading.
it wasn't, it was at least 50 feet away from the wetlands.
rats
so.
like to live in like
Get 'em all.
ground. And so like sometimes it rains a lot and then there's like a lot of snow melt and then their hole fills up and they come out of the ground. And they're on the
There's a lot of
surface. And are being rats on the surface. And that's probably what happened.
Could be it, but yeah, I didn't see any running around, but
So the time to go is at night, and if you wanna see him at night, you can come to my house. And we walk through the woods to Lou's property, and you'll see at night that you see all the little eyes with a flashlight. It's wetlands in there.
Are you sure it's not raccoons?
But the
Oh,
only
it's,
is
because I caught them.
But they're
They come
wild.
into my
rats.
yard and I catch them
Pick
with
'em off.
traps.
That they're
No.
loose domesticated rats from python feeding.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
This is
So
why-
they would be much easier to see.
Bellingham.
It's so expensive, I don't think they're
I know, I don't know if they really let me on that.
Usually.
I will accept the motion to close and adjourn for the evening.
I'll make a motion to close this evening's meeting.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
At the
All right.
school, we feed
Thank you.
frozen